Hello everyone, welcome back to IP360. In this episode, we are going to continue the basic fundamental concepts of Python programming language. So let's begin. So Python basics always starts with the character sets. So we are going to see what are different character sets available in Python. A character set in any language, including Java or C++ or in Python, it consists of different elements. The character set can be letters and they can be digits like numbers, and there can be special symbols, and we can also have white spaces and other characters. So we are going to see each and every one by one in upcoming slides. So in any programming language or a simple plain language like English, Tamil or Hindi, whatever languages, if we want to communicate an information, there can be a sentence or a paragraph or a small word that represents or that conveys some meaning to the other person. So each and every element are called as the tokens or lexical units. So the definition of lexical units is given here. So the smallest individual unit in a program or language is known as token or a lexical unit. Let's say I have given an example. I have given my introduction in 2 lines. Hi, I'm Venkatesh Kalaiselvam. I am a high school computer science and informatics teacher from Army Public School, Wellington. So if you see that it's a small sentence, it has lots of words. So each and every words, double quotes, maybe a comma or a special character called and full stop, all are small units of that language. So they are called as tokens or lexical units. Let's take a look at this slide. In previous slide, I have shown a short introduction about myself. Here in this slide, I have tried to convert that unstructured data, which is in simple English, into a tabular column format, which means whatever given in plain English, we try to convert them into a computer understandable table column format and put the corresponding data for each column. So this will be very much useful when we are dealing with lots of unstructured data and trying to store the data in a database. So we will study more about what is unstructured data, what is structured data in upcoming videos. For a moment, we can skip this slide. We will move on to the another basics. So in the previous slides, we have seen the definition of token. Now we are going to categorize the tokens in Python language. So we have keywords, identifiers, literals, operators, punctuators, and we are going to discuss each and every one in different slides. So let's take a look at the keywords. So keywords are the word that convey a special meaning in the language compiler or interpreter. Let's say there is a keyword called print in a program, or there is a conditional loop where you are going to use a condition if age greater than 18 or if a equal to b. So there are some words which are reserved to perform some actions for a given program. They are called as keywords. These are reserved for special purpose and must not be used as normal identifier names. Examples I have given here. You may have false, assert, break, true, and for, global, if, there are so many keywords specifically assigned or defined for a given language that will do a particular operation when we are using that keywords. So we cannot use it for the general purpose. We have to use it for a specific reason to perform some actions. Now we are going to talk about identifiers. We already seen about the keywords. The identifiers are also called as variables. They are defined as fundamental building blocks of a program and are used as a general terminology for names given to different parts of the program. let's say you are going to do an addition program in your Python coding. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create two variables. One is called a, where I'm going to put the first number. I'm going to keep the first number, let's say 10, and then b equal to 15. And now I'm going to create one more variable or an identifier called c. I'm going to do that addition operation here. Okay, I'm going to add a plus b. So in result, what I'm going to get is 15. Sorry, 25, right? In this case, yes. So this a, b, c are the variables, are the identifiers, are the placeholders to store the values that you wanted to perform an action, right? In this case, addition operation. So these are all called variables, and we can take any example, like first name. You can create a first name to store a person's first name, and maybe a last name to create to store the last name of the person. And if you want to keep an person's age, you can create a variable called age, and then you can assign the value 35. Okay, so likewise you can create variables that can be used in your program for certain operation. And in Python, the variables are case sensitive. The Python is a case sensitive language. In other words, this first name that you are seeing here is different from this, which means the it is considering uppercase character and lowercase characters differently. So in Python, it's a case sensitive, and if you say a, and if you are trying to check whether it's equal to capital A, it will throw error. It is a failure because this a will be treated differently than this a. Okay, these two are two different variables. So Python is case sensitive, and we need to make sure when you are writing a variable, you are using a following naming convention, proper naming convention. So that's all about the variables. Now we are going to see what are the different data types or different variable types that we can create to start coding in Python. So data types are nothing but what kind of data we are going to handle. Let's say you may handle a string data type. String is nothing but a word. Let's say you are going to store my information. You're going to store my first name, last name, age, date of birth, and so on. So each and every item or attribute of my data will be different. My first name can be a string. My last name is also a string or a word. My age can be a number. My salary can be a number. My height can be a floating point because it will have a decimal point in it. So height can be a in decimal point. Maybe my marital status can be yes or no. We call that as a Boolean data type. And there may be a chance I don't have data for a specific attribute. Let's say I don't have a secondary phone number. In this case, I can keep a null value, which means we don't have any data. Empty value can be treated as none. And there is something called collections here. And this collection topic we will discuss more in detail because it is a vast topic. I don't want to touch this right now. We will discuss this in later sessions because it needs a special attention, and then we need to work on more to discuss on this. So as of now, we will focus on data type of string, numeric, Boolean, number. So we just saw about the keywords and identifiers. Now we are going to see what are operators. So if you see in the slide, I have highlighted different types of operators. Operators can be unary operators, can be arithmetic operators, bitwise operator, and relational operator. Here we can use different types of operators for our age checking. Let's say you are having a website where you need to check the registered user is greater than the age is greater than 18. For that we can use a relational operator to check whether a greater than or equal to 18, you allow the user for the registration. So based on our problem statement, we can use the different operators to achieve our end goal. So the list is, here is simple, but we can explore more when we actually start coding in Python. So that's all. It's very simple. We can stop here. You can take this slide for your reference. You can very well refer W3 schools for your Python studies. Also, in your informatics practices, the explanation is very clear. You can refer that as well. And if you have any doubts in this episode, share your comments in this video, and then I will take and try my best to answer your questions. Thank you all for watching. We will meet in next episode. Bye.